Hello and welcome to David's World. Now back to opening an envelope. This one is quite thick. It was $1.99, second class, large letter to send. It has a lot of tape around it, and I have to be careful because I think whatever's in can be close to the edge, and I don't want to damage what's inside if it's what I think it is. Now, you see, when I put the description up at the top and saying what it is, we'll have already opened it and know what the hell it is. Right now, I'm assuming it's what I think it is. So if it's what I think it is, I have to be careful opening it because it can get damaged. And yes, it's only in an envelope, but it is technically more papery and doesn't require, it won't be affected by being bent to put through things. So let's see. I've managed to cut it open without touching any of it. A good bit of jiggling. So we pull out. As you see, it doesn't hold its form. That's now empty. Now, as we said, we got that wallet with all the items in for, I think it was about £8. My memory thinks it's about £8. And that was the wallet and all the items from Back to the Future. A more unusual thing. And thank you so much, battery. Yeah, when I started speaking, my battery was in half green and fine. As soon as I got to that point, it turned red. Terrible. Right, so let's get back to where we were. What do we have? Well, I have two files with items in. And this might take some time. There is a lot of items, so I won't hang about and do piles of stuff. We have lots of items, okay? Now, Joe Warlock bought a Back to the Future mystery box and paid, it was something like £30 to £40 it was actually for it, and it only had a couple of items from Back to the Future. Now, this is full of paper items, so they don't have massive value as individuals, but as a whole, hopefully you can see that it is a lot better value than the box that Joe Warlock bought from Back to the Future. So we have a note, banknote with the DeLorean on. We have a banknote with an image from Back to the Future. We have another banknote. It's only on one side, it's clear on the other, but it's like a plastically, like a coated thing. So that's them setting the DeLorean off in one. Another banknote. Another banknote. Just a plain fixed colour. We have a banknote when they've got the clock tower. Another one of that looks like when he's in the Wild West. And he just starts and gets in the Wild West and the Indians are following. That looks like the image from that. Right, I think I've done banknotes. We have another driving license picture. Some of the little things are out of order. Right, so we have a second one of the same thing. A Michael J. Fox driving license bit. And another one with a different image of him. Biff Tanner Museum thing. Blast from the Past, Almanac Grays, like receipt. Two bar menu type, what you want to order type things. We have the picture where they start vanishing that he has. This is a proper 6x4. We have a picture of both them at a church getting married. We have the picture of just Marty by himself. We have the picture of his brother and sisters vanishing. They're not as clear, so they're disappearing. We have black and white image of Biff marrying Marty's girl from that episode. We have Marty's parents picture. And we have the picture when they're married. So that one's like the 18th century type picture. Not done yet. We have one Valley Racing Association Biff Tanner winning check. We have the historical Hill Valley, a photo of, well, Biff's family when he goes back to the future, to the western part, that it's like information and a picture of the group. It's faded due to it being immensely old. So, okay. We have a print picture of the number plate. We have a A4 sized print of Biff as the businessman. We have the menu placemat when he goes into the future from the cafe. Back to the old time, we have Mad Dog Bruford picture in like a reddish coloured. Definitely looks like types of images you would get for them time. I have a piece of cardboard. That was just to keep them together, I think. Oh, and we'll keep that one. Don't forget, I still have another envelope here. So, next, we have the newspaper article about Emmett Brown being committed, and the picture which you see in the movie when they show the newspaper. We have a hand poster for the reward for Buford. We have the newspaper article which shows Biff wins again. This must be when he gets the Almanac and he's winning money at the horses. So it's the newspaper bit of that. This is the day when he gets the big money check when he's at the races, and it shows that how he started to be as rich as what he became in that part of the film. Emmett Brown commended instead of committed getting his handshake by the mayor. The newspaper from the future where the gang gets jailed after that little run around on the hoverboards and they go into the courthouse and they get arrested. So we have the other one with Marty getting arrested. So those are the two possibilities that they had for the film. So that was when Buford wanted him to do something and he didn't want to do it, and then he went off and then they did the chase, and I don't know if you know most of the film, but that was it. So what's this one? Oh, we have another photo from the past where after the big dance where ZZ Top play the guitars, they stand beside the clock, and this is the clock face from the main building that in the future they use to get hit by the electric lightning and send them back to the future to start with. So that's the clock one. That's the one that you see them standing and they take it. That's the picture that came from it. There's more. Okay. Let's see. What's these bits? We have one sheet of Cusco, which is the place where Marty works in the future one when he gets the message. I have two empty pieces like that. One where he does that deal at the table and then he gets the message coming across saying you're fired. I seem to have two of this one. The paper is slightly different. One's white and one's slightly yellow, which is the Save the Clock Tower. They both have the I love you and the telephone number on the back. So yes, I do think they're both the same, but one's on a more whiter paper and the other one's slightly yellower. So I have the letter that Marty writes from Lou's calf about the terrorists going to shoot him. This is the one that goes into the envelope and he hands it to him, and then he says, I don't want to know anything about the future, and tears it up and throws it into the bin and gets Marty to get into the car so he can get hit by the... It's complicated on there. So this is a copy of the letter for that. Now, when we're in the future one, we have the billboard for Jaws 19. This is all laminated. All of the rest, I think, all these are like a laminated plastic. So they're not like a paper. So they're all printed off. Although it feels more like photographic paper. Feels like a laminated type thing. So that's the Jaws 19. Hopefully not. Also, we have, in that one, we have Marty writes a book. Because remember, he's had his son, Marty, telling his father that he has to do something, and he's written a book from the image that he had. Once again, very good. We have a front, technically these are the front covers of the books are meant to be represent. This is the Fantastic Stories one, the magazine, with the alien on the front. We of course now have a couple of more famous ones that turn up. We have the front cover of the Sports Almanac. This is what Marty buys to try and take back, and which Emmett takes off him, what Biff gets a hold of and goes back and gives it to his other self, and this is how he gets all the money in number 2. So this is the important Almanac, and this is the item which Marty has to get back. In trying to get back, it gets took off him and gets taken to the headmaster. Well, is it Strickland? No, that's the propane. Somehow, you know, the bully one who's keeps telling him he's a slacker. Well, he gets the book and he takes it to his office, and when Marty gets to the office, he says he's got it, but he's only got the front cover because underneath is ooh la la. I can't go there. If anyone's too young to watch this, then yeah. So he gets a magazine that is not what he was looking for. So we have a front cover of another one, which is Tales from Space, when Marty crashes into the barn and comes out, and that family comes in, and the boy is holding a magazine with the spaceman on the front, and Marty looks like the spaceman on the front of the comic that he has. So that's that. Another bit of cardboard for that one to stop them from bending too much. And the other one was from the Thingy Society. This one is a bigger version of them standing at the clock. We of course now, if I can pick it up, because I can see what's underneath it, we have the A4 paper of the Flux Capacitor. Remember, we got this in the wallet, it was folded up. Well, this is a full unfolded bit. We have a blue, much thicker, different looking one with still. So I have technically three. I've got a white, a off-white and a blue of the clock tower. This is on cardboard. This is a white version of the coloured version, which is that one, of the letter. Without, it's like that one is a photocopy of the letter itself with creases and folds in it, and that's a copy without it. I'm getting tired now, are you? And I have the last item, which is obviously an item which gets sold, but it is signatures. Of course, they're not hand signed. This is a printed version of the signature, but still, even printed versions of a signature like this still seem to have value, so people will still buy this type of thing. This is once again on photographed paper, and they put a border around it. That's the white, so that could go into a frame and you wouldn't really tell. So that's the two. It's emptied, and the harder thing is to pick it all up. There is quite a lot of items here. I would count them, but there may be near 50 items there of props and stuff, that images, all from Back to the Future. Now, when I found that on eBay, it was £15 plus £3 postage. I put it into my watch file because I wanted to have a look and see if there was other things from Back to the Future that one I didn't have or would interest me. So I went, okay, I'll wait and have a look. And it was the next day, and I came back and they had done an offer and said, we give you an offer of a discount off. You can have it for 12 plus £3. So I took that £15. There's quite a lot of items there, and as I've said in the past, I like Back to the Future. So that in a picture frame should look fairly good. I can put them all away. I can put them with the other stuff. So anything that I have doubles, I can always put the doubles items and bring them out and put them into a picture frame and make some type of collage. I have plenty of the Back to the Future clock tower ones, so I could put that and then put some of the other stuff that I have doubles of into that, and have something that I can put on the wall. So there is options, you know. I don't have to keep everything. I can use some of it, but you're still once again looking at Joe Warlock's box was near £40. And yes, there were a couple of items and they were solid. There was a lot. Well, there wasn't as much as this, but there was quite a few items that were paper items, which to me don't have a massive value. But you are looking at how many of these are actually on photographic paper. So photographic paper costs more. We've also got the print costs and the time to print it all out. This is, and this finding this stuff there. You know, these are all decent looking items. There's no problem with print quality. So £15, a whole pile of Back to the Future items. And now I want to rest, because that was very long. Do you want me to go through it again and show you what? If you want to see everything again, go back to the start. Please go back to the start. You can watch it again. I'll see you on the next video. So please like, comment, and subscribe. And bye for now.